Okay, so good afternoon. This is just where we want to have a very informal discussion with you about the situation of organic farming in the Philippines as you know it, and the future, what other improvements can be made, and the future as you foresee organic farming. So maybe we can start with introductions first, and please tell us your name and the name of your farm organization.
So I'm Mark Dumlao. I'm the general manager of Tapaw Ventures Inc. Primarily, we're into the chicken and the pork business. We've labeled our products as probiotic. We've been into natural and organic farming about 7 years. We started as a commercial farm. After a year, almost 2 years, we figured it was difficult for us to compete and to make money from the traditional farming. So we decided to make that shift early on, about 2007 into organic farming was starting then. Natural farming wala. That's Tapaw Ventures.
My name is Pedro Perez. I'm President and CEO ng Promote Nakasara Stitcher Farms. We are certified organic na NICER. Most of our products are high-value vegetables. Siguro mga 80% ay high-value vegetables. We also have pork, chicken, rabbits, herbs, may konting tilapia, and we're also an anti-tourist destination. Bisita kayo sa Parkinson. And we also offer seminars on organic
I'm Rico Moyon, beekeeper, bee breeder ng Milea Bee Farm. So bali nagsimula kami, we started making cosmetic products galing sa mga byproducts din ng beekeeping. Pero nagsimula kami, namili kami sa labas. And then we found out na yung mga pinagbibilhan namin, yung practice nila hindi sustainable. So nag-aral dito sa labas ng bansa para ituro sa mga farmers. Kasi kung kami rin lang gagawa ng sarili namin supply, hindi rin namin kakayanin. So tinuturo namin siya ngayon kung saan lugar na malayo, malapit. Ang importante yung mga farmers natin, matuto sila na ngayon na yung bees ay hindi natin kalaban. Kasama natin sila sa agrikultura. Lalo na ngayon na we're pushing for natural or organic farming, kailangan natin ng bees. Tsaka pinopromote namin na yung kung gaano kaswerte yung Pilipinas. Kasi tayo meron tayong 5 or 4 na honey-producing bees na pwedeng pakinabangan. Unlike progressive nations, Europe and the US na isang klaseng bee, lang. So, kailangan mas-spread lang siya. So, pinagsisikapan namin, makaikot kami para to teach the farmers. Pag wala silang ready market, pwede namin. We also provide trainings sa site mismo, tsaka yung para yung ibang gusto lang makita or makilala ang bees, every second and last Saturday of the month, open to yung farm for
I'm a delator, not a farmer. I'm a consumer, educator, advocate. Well, before 2010, I was working with a non-government organization called Education for Life Foundation. And one of our projects then, together with a few other NGOs, was how to promote organic farming among especially rice farmers. As you know, that's a very difficult challenge because there's always the thinking that if you go organic, the yield will go down. On the other hand, you go organic naman, the inputs are much cheaper. So for 1 year, we worked with that. And then in 2010, Secretary Alcala of the Department of Agriculture asked me to help out. And since he's the author of the Organic Agriculture Act, so part of my assignment was to help the newly formed National Organic Agriculture Board, which is a combination of government and non-government, to kind of start up plenty of learning lessons. And well, Natuto ako na sa tatlo dito. So I don't know about you, but clearly, I think the main lesson we've learned is that people think things start only because there's a law, there's a government, there's funds. Organic started long ago, and I think what we can do now is recognize it, give support, and more important, bring people together, because a concept sa agriculture, you won't really make money and you won't sustain your work kung nasa production ka lang. You must link to processing, you must link to marketing. So the whole idea also of consumer education comes in and linking them to the processors and the producers. With the bias, well, my activist background, we have a bias for small producers. Hindi naman masamang malaki, lahat naman tayo gusto lumaki. But we can always start with the smaller ones para wag na-discourage agad. Sabi nga nyo, pag lugi agad ito na pagpupuntahan. So we have a special emphasis on how to bring people together. And more recently, I was asking, dumalo sa Costales Farm there are some mayors who say, well, instead of individual NGOs, people's organization pushing organic agriculture, why can't local governments really give it a stronger push? And so a group of them have formed themselves as the League of Organic Agriculture Municipalities. And we're really hoping that as more and more of them adopt that, they'll not only pass ordinances, maybe give support, and maybe kind of accelerate the promotion of organic agriculture in the Philippines.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mamihan Rizzo Tongokon. I'm the Operations Manager for NCR of the Don Bosco Foundation for Sustainable Development and the Don Bosco Business Corporation, formerly Biostymix. So now Biostymix is our brand name for the many products that we produce. We mainly produce organic unpolished rice. We are certified organic both by OCCP and by CERES. We do exports now with the help of DA and President Moy. We just did 15 tons, sent 50 tons to Dubai. Aside from the rice, we also have produce wild banana. It's basically lahat ng pwedeng crops na bagay dun sa Mindanao. We kind of try to help the farmers kung pwede i-develop, i-convert na yung land nila from the traditional farming to the organic farming by the land agriculture that we practice. Right now, the foundation is basically focused on helping farmers buy back their land from kung kanino nila sinanglayon. We help them we buy back their land for them. In return, they just allow us to train them how to practice biodynamic agriculture. And then their yield, we buy their yield. So we buy it a few peso higher than the usual buying price. We also make them feel rewarded for putting hard work nila. And then in return, we consolidated them so that we can have their land certified organic, both here and abroad. So basically, we decided to have it certified organic so that we can explore the market, because the market actually exists. Hindi lang siya natatap ng maayos, and so that's what we wanted. We wanted the farmers to be motivated to do farming organically. Kasi nakikita nila na yung kanilang produkto, yung kanilang pinaghirapan, nakakaabot actually dun sa end user. Nakakain talaga at may following na. So, yun yung goal naman ng cooperative, kung paano pa i-expand at nalalawakin yung market. Para in the end, pag gano'n nakadami yung demand, then at least kahit paano may nagagawa tayo to change the environment, for the future for our children. Kasi we want it to be sustainable na. It can only be sustainable if we don't continue harassing the nature. So, yun. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Ruby Cruz. I'm the Marketing Director of the Next Laboratories for based in Negros Island. We have international certification, it's EcoCert. So, yung products namin go by the brand name Baby Apple. It's marketed sa Philippines. We have kiosks nationwide. And I think we're better known as the pioneer in the cultivation of roselle. So, ito naman, this is a research by Philip Cruz, my husband, who's the president of the company. Philip Cruz is the OIM 2005 awardee, also a scientist and an inventor. And he researched about this roselle because the objective of having making the company is to provide the alternative livelihood for the farmers in Negros. So, kasi sa Negros, as you all know, it's really maybe 90% of the economy of Negros is from sugar. So, even if government would give out land, it's still, the farmers, the small farmers would still plant sugarcane because the ease of market and all that. But sugarcane is a crop that you need economies of scale and a lot of capital, and it's money to grow. So it just wouldn't work. So we took the initiative through the research of Philip to look for a crop that would provide an alternative. I was a beneficiary of the AMAS, sa Tokyo last week. I was with the AMAS, and luckily we were able to find a distributor for roselle already. So after about 2 years work also in marketing. So right now we're focusing on the supply chain. So we're nearing already the mission to begin with. And so we're help them on really strengthening the supply chain for this, because as also Rico mentioned, we can't really do everything on their own. We've got to really involve the community. And our group is also involved with the organization of the Negros Farmers Weekend Market. This was established in March only this year, and from 27 original vendors, we're now up to 45, and the incomes of the vendors have been tripled in just 7 months. So I hope, like to invite everyone also, if you have a chance to be in Negros. This is really private, not a single cent from government here. This is a CSR of our company. And this is also being supported by a lot of social groups, the anti-baha organization of Bacolod, and many more, alumni boards of different schools. It's really a community effort. So if anyone can visit Negros, make it a Saturday to visit the market. Thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Leona Santos Personza, and welcome to Cordillera Coffee. We're very blessed that this talk is being held here. It's actually a privilege meeting all of you who are into organic farming and supporting our local farmers. So our advocacy is to help uplift the lives of the coffee farmers in Cordilleras, specifically in Benguet. So we established Coffee Aid, wherein I'm the program coordinator. It's actually the outreach arm of Cordillera Coffee, because since we are a coffee company, getting the coffee directly from the farmers, they're at a fair price, and we didn't want to continue the middleman practice that was happening ever since when we started getting coffee from the community. We found out that middlemen were getting coffee at very low prices from the farmers, and they would haggle for the lowest price, and they would sell the coffee at exorbitant prices in the market, leaving the farmers no choice but to sell to them and getting all the profit for themselves. We wanted to empower the farmers by giving them what is fair, what is due them, because we really saw how hard they work for the coffee. It takes about 3 to 5 years before it bears fruit, and everything is manual up in the mountains. They don't have sophisticated equipment to process the coffee, so it's just right to give fair price for the coffee. And since we're dealing with the farmers anyway, we wanted to do more outreach activities for the communities. That's why we set up Coffee Aid, Coffee Assistance for Indigenous Development. It's our outreach arm. It's a non-profit organization, a non-Napolis NGO. We've always been asked, "Are you NGO? Are you like?" Yeah, we always have to put that disclaimer on. Yeah, so in our own little ways, we go to the farms and bring people there to learn more about the coffee story, where it's from, how the farmers are doing, and we want to promote the awareness that we have good Philippine coffee here that we can support. So they're a small group of farmers based in Benguet, and thankfully from the years that we started working with them in 2003 when the coffee shop started, thankfully right now they have that empowerment to say that when people try to buy the coffee from them at low prices, they can say, no, I have someone who buys it at $2.50 a kilo. So it's a good thing hearing this from them, that they are empowered, that they have that sense of value, value for what they do. So yeah, we're just it's a privilege to share with you what we saw from the communities there, and to learn also from you guys. Thank you for inviting us to and having